Today, let's talk a little bit about how you turn on and off your power. The first thing you need to do when you start your day is enter the truck and power up the two systems. One of them is your 12-volt system, which is on the left-hand side, and your inverter is on the right-hand side. You have a star on both of them to help you find these two switches. Basically, on the inverter, you're just going to press the button, and you'll see the light come on, like this. And then you're going to flip this switch. Now I'm going to turn it off so you can see me turn it on into the on position. When you flip this switch off and on, it kills all the power or brings up the power on all the switches below. So at the end of the day, when you turn off the main switch at the top, all the other switches are disabled without you having to move those switches. It's best to leave the lower switches in the on position unless you need something specifically to be off. Now think about it this way. When you worked in a shop, did you go back to the back and turn off all the circuit breakers between grooms? Of course not. So think of these switches as your circuit breakers. Do not turn these switches off and on between grooms or between the houses that you're servicing. Leaving these two switches on throughout the day allows everything to work automatically like it needs to. Especially during the winter, this is important because if you turn off these switches between grooms, you will not have heat to keep the rear workspace warm between grooms. So write this down. Turn the power on, start of the day, off at the end of the day. Now let's talk about a few of the problems you will have if you do not follow this procedure. One of them will be that these switches will be activated so often that you'll have to replace them sooner. Think about it. These are circuit breakers. These are not switches. So you're either going to activate it once a day or you're going to activate it anywhere from 8 to 12, 10, 9 times a day. That's a lot of activity. So you wear out the switches faster. And these are the hardest thing in the truck to change out, even compared to the batteries or the inverter. But wait, that's not all. What happens during the winter when you turn off everything between grooms? For one, your heater is no longer running in the back, so it's going to get colder in the back. That loss of heat can cause you to freeze up the night after working because you don't have the heat build up in the truck like you need to. It'll also make your legs cold because it takes a while to reheat everything after you stop. So trust me, just leave the power on until the end of the day and then turn it off. Unless you have an Everwarm, then you want to make sure that you do leave the power on for the Everwarm. But there's one other note I'd like to make. During the summer in particular, do not turn off your air conditioner between stops. It's actually better to run the air conditioner between stops to dry the truck out, also to keep it cool for you in the back so you don't have to make up for the heat that got in it while you're driving to the next stop. And it's just much more stable. And when things are stable, your drying will be more predictable. The entire process will be more predictable. So don't hesitate to run your air conditioner between stops.